You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Beyond the Gates fans. If you have not seen it, the very first introductory special for the new CBS soap aired on Monday, February 17th, and it was great. The big heat was coming for me from Karla Mosley's character, Dani Dupree. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I'm going to break down 3 huge shockers that have come out about her character, who is going to be lighting up the front burner from the very first episode of Beyond the Gates starting Monday, February 24th. And I'm also going to tell you a few of the really fascinating behind the scenes things that they talked about in this first Welcome to the Neighborhood special. So right off the bat, if you're a Bold and the Beautiful fan, you know who Karla Mosley is. In fact, that's where she met head writer and co-showrunner Michelle Valjean. Back in the day, Karla played Maya Avant. If you haven't seen it or don't remember, Maya was a groundbreaking soap character when B&B revealed 2 years into the character's introduction that she was a trans woman. This was way back in 2015, and it stunned audiences. So Karla is used to breaking ground, blazing trails, things like that. So I was super excited to see that Karla had been cast on BTG when they first started listing off all the actors and the characters. And oh my gosh, when they released the longer promo, her character Dani was so fierce, just raging, vowing revenge, just full soap glory. So there's 3 huge spoilers to know about Karla's new role, Dani Dupree, and what we're going to see her do about her cheating husband, Bill Hamilton, and his side piece, Hayley, when the brand new African-American soap opera rolls out on Monday. So just first of all, as happens to many women, Dani's dog of a husband, lawyer Bill Hamilton, who she's been married to for 30 years, cheated on her with his paralegal. Bill is a top attorney who's a narcissist with a huge ego, clearly selfish, and I think fully deserves all the things Dani is going to dish out on him. Bill has pulled some of the Dupree family out of scrapes in years past, according to some things he said to Dani's dad, Vernon, and so he feels all powerful and thinks the Duprees owe him. And he didn't just cheat with Hayley Lawson. This is the paralegal. This wasn't a casual thing. He went and fell in love, or as much as a narcissist can love somebody else, and Dani has vowed to make him pay. So, spoiler number 1, husband of 30 years takes up with his paralegal, falls in love, breaks his family apart. All right, number 2, the second juicy spoiler is that paralegal Hayley that Bill cheated with and got engaged to is a lot younger than him or Dani. In fact, Hayley, the paralegal that he's cheating with, is their oldest daughter's best friend. You heard it here. Naomi Hamilton Hawthorne is besties with Hayley, the chick who diddled her dad and did her mom really dirty. And now Naomi says she doesn't have a dad anymore. She's furious at what he did. And as I said, Bill didn't just sleep with Hayley. He is now engaged to her and is pulling her up into his upper echelon of society, which then in turn rubs the whole affair, and then him legitimizing it with this engagement, rubs it all right in Dani's face, and of course rubbing that big diamond ring that Bill put on Hayley's finger in Dani's face as well. So of course she wants to make them both pay, and I'm here for it. All right, the third juicy spoiler is that while Bill is doing Dani dirty with his much younger fiance by moving them into the same neighborhood, Fairmont Crest, with, he and Hayley move in there, Dani is going to go and get a little something going for herself. So while he is just upending her life, rubbing this woman in her face, moving into the neighborhood, basically recreating their life with another woman, Dani's had enough. She's going to be getting frisky with a hot younger man, and it's somebody she probably shouldn't have her hands on. Andre Richardson is the photographer and very handsome playboy who is basically Dani's big sister's foster son, for lack of a way to describe it. Andre's parents died in a plane crash, and after that, Nicole Dupree Richardson, Dani's sister, and his uncle, who is Nicole's husband, Ted Richardson, stepped up. They took him in. We're going to learn more about the timeline on this once the show debuts, about like how old he was. You know, has Dani been around him since he was very young? You know, because there is an age gap there. Or is this something, you know, like did her sister raise him from a baby, so it's more like Dani's nephew? Or was he like 17 when his parents died and, you know, he moved in with them, but it's not like Dani ever saw him as a nephew, you know? Suffice it to say, Dani and Nicole have a lot of sibling rivalry, and Dani feels like her sister has the perfect life and looks down on her. So between that and Bill cheating, breaking her heart, and getting engaged to homewrecker Hayley, you can see how Dani winds up in gorgeous Andre's bed, and he thinks she's beautiful. He's all about her. He makes her feel good. He's restoring that confidence she's lost because of her husband's cheating, you know. Complicating all this is that Dani's younger daughter, Chelsea Hamilton, is a model who works with Andre. So we'll have to wait and see if Chelsea has feelings for Andre and if she'll be upset that he is doing stuff with Dani. The whole vibe of Dani sleeping with her sister's sort of foster / adopted son, whatever, it has a lot of that bold and the beautiful vibe to it, which makes sense given that Michelle Valjean wrote at B&B for 12 years before leaving to start up and co-run Beyond the Gates. So I am guessing Dani's sister, Nicole, probably won't be happy when she finds out that her sister's been in the sheets with Andre. And now, here's a few of the tidbits from the intro episode about Beyond the Gates, about the show itself and not just this one character. So I learned some really interesting stuff watching this special. Although the new black soap opera films in Atlanta, it's set in what's known as the DMV, an area of Washington, D.C., that's the D, Maryland, M, and Virginia, that has a number of big and long-standing, very affluent, primarily African-American country club communities that house the elite of the area. And so Fairmont Crest is the country club community on Beyond the Gates, which models on those real communities in the DMV. This fictional one is in Maryland, and many of the main characters live in Fairmont Crest, while some have chosen to live away from it. In other words, they chose to live beyond the gates of that insular, wealthy community. There are 27 incredible sets, 20 front burner characters, 40 characters total. We saw sets that showed us some of the homes of the characters, the Dupree mansion, some other apartment buildings, the luxurious country club that we're going to be seeing a lot, Cheating Bill's law office that Dani busted up with a golf club, the photo studio where Andre takes his snaps, a hospital set for the doctors on the cast, a casino, and much more. The two showrunners, Sheila Ducksworth and Michelle Valjean, are the first two Black females ever to helm a soap opera. That's groundbreaking stuff right there. Plus, I mean, there's not a lot of female showrunners, period. You know, we've got Brad Bell, we've got Josh Griffith, we've got Frank Valentini, and we finally have, you know, female head writers over on Days. But yeah, it's wild that in a mostly female demographic watched genre that we just don't have women running things, right? Anyway, they also revealed on this intro special an actor that they hired that they managed to keep secret for a while. Beyond the Gates went and lured John Lindstrom away from General Hospital. He has been Kevin Collins there since the early 90s and also played his evil twin serial killer Ryan Chamberlain. He is a great actor, and he plays a casino owner named Joey, who's from the wrong side of the tracks. And John Lindstrom said he really likes working on Beyond the Gates and said he's gaining a perspective he's never had before as an actor, because on this soap set, as he said, he's the minority. He's in the minority. And he said he's getting a societal point of view that he never had before, and said, you know, he's cried tears of joy over all this. He's so thrilled to be part of the show. And there were also some really neat nods to real life history of the African American community. And for instance, on the soap, Fairmont Crest was built by Vernon Dupree's father back in 1951. And again, they're modeling this on existing communities up there that have been around for that long. And we have the architect he's seen in a portrait on the wall. He's not a character, but Vernon's dad is named Paul Cheeks Dupree. So fun fact, Paul Cheeks was a pioneering architect who lived and worked in Atlanta, and his son, George Cheeks, is co-CEO of Paramount now, which of course is airing the show. So Paul passed away in 2022, but he's part of the fabric of the show and the history. And there's all kinds of nods to African-American culture, music, art, significant historical figures throughout the sets and the scenery. And this video has gotten so long today, so I'm going to touch on those in upcoming videos. All I know is every new thing I see, the more excited I get for the debut on Monday of Beyond the Gates. I'm already a super fan of Dani Dupree. When she took that club to her husband's office and when she slapped his face like it was her new job, I was sold on it. Cannot wait to see more of Karla Mosley and the whole cast.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.